From Atlanta.
Where the truth isn't out there, it's here in a nondescript mixed-use complex where once stood your beloved past.
It's the 9 Billion Names of Pod with Dan Bowman and Michael Reed. I'm Dan Bowman.
I'm the guy who shot JR because he wanted to drill for oil under Manny's.
So, let's talk about some stuff.
Well, we just got picked up for our back 9, so hiatus is over. Let's play part 2. Now, another show that was canceled, brought back for a limited series, and now is being relaunched with another lead. Does that sound familiar?
Okay, canceled.
It's canceled after a good long run, like 6-7 seasons. Mm-hmm. And then gone for a little while, brought back for a limited event. Instead of 24 episodes, they only did 12.
Was it 24?
Exactly.
You gave it away.
There you go.
Yeah, was it... what was the London one? What was it called? Die Another Day or something? No,
that I believe that was the limited one that came back.
Yeah.
And it was good. It was fine and everything.
But they're going to Jason Bourne it, from what I hear. They're going to relaunch it with
somebody else. And I heard a little bit of rumblings about casting. It ain't going to be a boy.
Yeah, it is, from what I hear.
Is it?
Yeah, it's an African-American gentleman, from what I understand.
Oh, well, then maybe I'm wrong. Well, good, even better.
Yeah, what did you hear? Like they were going to go with a woman?
Yeah, I heard there was gonna be a woman. Maybe there's going to be like not just one Jack Bauer character, but maybe two. Maybe one a woman and one's an African American.
Do it.
Good. It was like finally Hollywood understands. Oh wow, women can carry TV shows and films, and so can African Americans.
And even if you just step back, in almost any case, the gender just is irrelevant of the character. It doesn't matter what they are at all, and their nationality.
And if anything, you can play it up where the bad guy thinks it's a woman, and then the woman destroys him.
Yeah. It gives you so many more storytelling opportunities.
Exactly. So I'm interested in seeing. I watched all of 24, which is saying something because the second series was atrocious.
Really.
The first was like landmark, like, wow, this is high tension, this is good. And then the second one was ridiculous. I have amnesia, and my leg is oh gosh. I hate that shit. I hate it with a passion, and season 2 sucked, but I stuck with it. And on the other side, they realized they made a mistake, and then they did very well throughout the rest of the series.
Okay.
So, and another example of a comedian doing good drama.
Marilyn Rice Club, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like, she never expected that to go at all, and
she is like weird, uncomfortable comedy.
Super absurd.
I mean, you think Aubrey Plaza makes you uncomfortable sometimes with her comedy?
Oh, she has nothing.
Marilyn Rice Club will destroy you with it, but you're just like,
she's basically a performance artist.
Yes.
It's barely like comedy.
When she's on At Midnight, she comes up with some of the most twisted, messed up things ever, and I love it.
Well, she was Andy Kaufman-esque almost to that degree.
So I'm definitely hoping that Chloe will be back, but maybe they're going to make a clean sweep of it, and this will be CTU New York or CTU wherever.
Yeah,
because
tie it in, give it that bridge,
give us a little something there.
One that I watch. Don't judge me. It's on Disney Channel. Don't judge me.
Oh, the judgment has already started.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the internet.
Your judgment has started too, people. I'm sure. All right, go for it.
There's a show on called Girl Meets World.
Yeah.
Which is a continuation of Boy Meets World. Okay. The whatever it was, early 90s.
The cat.
You just heard the cat, everybody. It was the early 90s Boy Meets World on ABC, the TGIF block of stuff. Sitcom.
Yeah, because you have to be under the age of 13 to be watching television on a Friday night.
Absolutely. It was a brilliant idea.
I mean, that's where you program all the hot stuff that the kids like, because they're not going to, they're not going to have their Calvins in a ball in the front seat past 11 on a school night.
Yeah. Well done.
Yeah, thank you. Even though Friday's not a school night.
Yes, exactly.
But you get the picture.
But this show, excuse me, this show again Michael Jacobs and April Kelly, the original creators, they started it again.
Yeah.
And they got, at this point, nearly every actor that was ever on Boy Meets World back reprising their characters.
Good.
And they've, updated it and made it. I mean, it's the main lead's daughter and her best friend, who are mirrors of them, and his best friend, who was the troubled kid. And
You're speaking to me as if I have any idea what the show is about at all.
Right. I'm trying to. That's why I'm giving you the broad strokes of it. But it's good. It gets a little messagey now and again, but not bad. It's never after school special. See,
I don't know about you, but certain times when like the cops, this happens even to this day on a show that's in its 17th season, Law and Order SVU, they're talking amongst themselves, giving us exposition about the law and stuff, that they know this shit.
Yes,
they
exactly.
do this for a job. Why are you talking like that? I keep expecting one to turn around and go, well, duh. What do you think I am, stupid? Like, no, they are.
Yeah.
They're watching us.
Yeah.
I understand you have to. And I also notice when they cleverly, on other shows or in films, where they impart information to you in a way that's like, good. It's in the background of a TV broadcast that something's happened. We don't have to, like, hey, did you see about that nuclear bomb that went off in LA? No, tell me more.
Yep.
They do it in a way that gets the information to the viewer without spooning it out of like someone's mouth. Like, all right, let me tell you everything that you already know anyway.
Yeah.
And if you don't, why don't you? Because your character is stupid. So
Ralph Garman, who does Hollywood Babylon with Kevin Smith, he was on NYPD Blue. He said for a while, and he said that was his character's name I was Officer Exposition. Anytime they showed up at a crime scene, I was the one who explained all that shit that the audience needed to know what they heard.
Yeah, that's not a favorite thing of mine, but I always appreciate it when they impart the information in a very clever, subtle way that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like doctors talking to each other about things that they learned in first year pre-med, that, like, why are you even talking about that? That's
Right.
not a thing.
Well, that's the trick. There is information that has to get out, but
the audience is not as stupid and is every bit as stupid as you think they are.
Yes.
I mean, seriously. I mean, I hate to hate on America, but a large portion of America is dumb as shit.
Yeah.
Or at the very least, their attention span does not allow them to grasp things and then retain them for the future.
No, and it's only gotten worse.
And that's why we have our shows that are brilliantly complex fall apart. Ratings wise, because people just like, I can't understand it.
Yeah.
I don't want to think. Like, I do want to think. I have a couple of TV shows where it's like, I know what I'm getting. I can probably figure it out in the first 5 minutes what's going to happen, and it's like dumb fun entertainment. I'm just going to watch this. And then there's other ones where I have to pay attention. Like, oh, I saw that in the background.
Yeah.
It challenges you.
Yeah.
And that's what I like. That's what some of these reimaginings, some of them will do. Great concept, like Battlestar Galactica. Let's amp that up and put some serious meat on that.
Exactly.
On that exoskeleton.
That was the problem I had with the second episode of the X-Files. Was literally, I'm watching it and they're walking down the hallway and they panned and they paused just briefly on the janitor and kept going, and I was like, okay, so it's that guy.
He's coming back.
So he's the whatever it's going to be, and then like she's driving and she stops short and a guy bangs into her car, and I was like, okay, well there's the janitor from it. So I saw it coming, and I hate that.
But sometimes storytelling is in what you see, not necessarily what you hear. You know me, I discount writers. They don't mean anything.
No.
But sometimes the writing, as far as the dialogue, is not what matters. In certain scenes, what is shown to you, and sometimes just by a camera lingering somewhere, that's where storytelling takes place in directing and cinematography.
Yeah.
Where information is given without any exposition or words on the screen or signs. It's just you just see it in a certain way, like, it gets you going. So I appreciate that. Now, speaking of weird camera angles and things that sometimes don't make sense,
I think I know what you're talking about.
would you like some cherry pie with your coffee? They're bringing Twin Peaks back, theoretically.
Theoretically.
Now, we had, what was it, 2 seasons on ABC.
Okay.
Canceled. A movie called Fire Walk with Me.
Yeah.
And then Silence. And a couple years back, they announced, yep, we're doing it. And then David Lynch said, they won't let me do what I want, and they won't budget the way I need this to be done.
Last year
so I'm walking. And then all of a sudden they realized, yeah, if Lynch doesn't do this,
It isn't.
it's completely gone. You could get back every original cast member, every crew member, but pull Lynch out of it
Doesn't matter.
doesn't work. So last I heard, they reconciled
They did.
and it's back on, but with no coming fall of no date.
Not even 2016. It's
No.
From what I hear, it's 2017 at some point.
Okay. And that's fine. You know me. I will wait 20 years for it to be done right rather than toss one off like, there you go.
Yep.
So, and I never watched Twin Peaks back in the day. I caught up with it on video. I am a Lynch. I don't want to say, well, I'm a Lynch fan, but
Okay.
his films are definitely ones that you need to digest.
He's not my kind of weird. I mean, I'm all for
I mean,
absurdity.
have you seen Blue Velvet?
I have seen it. Don't you fucking look at me.
That's a masterpiece. The Straight Story is the most un-Lynch film he's ever done, and it's brilliant. It's about an old man who I think his brother is sick or dying, and he can't drive, so he rides a riding lawnmower across the state or across a number of states or whatever to visit his brother, and it's the story of his trip and and it's good.
What
It's
movie?
So good. Oh God damn it! Now you.
Was it?
It's The Straight Story.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, with and Sissy Spacek is in that as well, and it's a wonderful film, and it's not weird or fucked up or dream sequence or dancing midgets and just straight story. Literally, I mean, it is the straight story.
You know what? Actually, one of his first real straight movie was that he directed.
Probably Elephant Man.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, the Elephant Man.
I actually have watched that film in the last couple of months, and it angers the fuck out of me. Not the film, just
The treatment of
the
John Merrick.
treatment of John
Yeah,
Merrick.
yeah.
It's just it's yeah. But now, do you remember what Lynch's first notable film was?
Eraserhead,
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
Fucking weird.
I
man.
watched that in high school during my my Fellini and Bergman period when I was just like ingesting tons of foreign films, art house films, and a lot of really weird B horror films mixed in. Basket Case and Fellini's, Satyricon and Basket Case double feature. And
Not a party I want to go
yeah,
to.
yeah. And now you know why I am the way I am. My formative years were just fucked up. Rocky Horror, Young Ones, foreign films, and Lynch weird shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
Well, Eraserhead was in that angsty, rebellious period of watching like Eraserhead and Pink Floyd's The Wall and Repo Man. But Eraserhead's weird.
that's
Like I said, not my kind of.
I haven't watched it again since high school. I probably should revisit it, but every little voice in my head says you're not going to understand it anymore
Any
now.
better than
because
you
there are
did.
certain books I've come back to and reread that I read in junior high and high school, and I was reading college level shit when I was in junior high school, and I could understand it, but I didn't have the life experience
To get
the internal vocabulary to get the full meaning of it.
Yes.
And come back. So maybe I'll get something more out of it as an adult watching Eraserhead. I don't know.
Probably not.
But if Twin Peaks finally does come back, I will probably catch up. It's only 2 seasons in a movie. It's not that...
I never watched it. Like I said, I heard it was weird, and I didn't see it at the time, and I never revisited it. I might I might.
It's
just
you
to
know,
see.
if for no other reason, for cultural literacy.
True.
You know,
I should know.
it's like-
I mean, I know references from
Right,
it.
right.
You know, the log
mean-
lady and the backward-talking midget and the pie and the whole...
And
you
the
know.
coffee. That's it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm not a Christian, but I've read the Bible because it's important to... That's cultural literacy. You
Yes.
got to know this stuff.
To humanity, yes.
Exactly. Now, we get to the downside of things coming back.
Okay.
Where, why is this happening?
Okay.
Netflix,
Yeah.
they're bringing back an old piece of shit sitcom. Do you know?
It's got to be Full House.
Fuller House.
Fuller House.
I never watched it back then because it was insipid, and now they're bringing it back. And thankfully, the Olsen twins have said nope.
Yep.
Which, of course, their heroin chic look that they've got now probably wouldn't go over too well on a sitcom.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what people were thinking that they were attractive at any point.
Ever.
I mean,
yeah.
you know, I saw that little clock thing they did back in the day, and they had a picture. I was like, and what's attractive there?
Nothing.
You know, and now that they're in their 20s or whatever, I'm like, I still don't see it.
I don't get it.
I mean, I like slender girls, but dear Lord.
And they look miserable all the time.
Yeah, the smiles are like not happening. So,
Well, I think I might be wrong, but the success of Girl Meets World and being so good may have springboarded this whole
and
Fuller
maybe,
House
and you know
thing.
what? And for some people, that was a great show that they loved. And I'm not gonna say it should
We
never
were-
exist
we
because
were-
I don't like
no,
it.
we were too old for it. It was not for us. We were teens at that point.
I think
when
I
it
was too
on.
old for it at birth.
Well, yeah, I know. It's total pablum and total
Right.
like
It's just not our cup of tea.
No, not
And
at
some
all.
people, I don't know who they could possibly be. Star Wars is not their cup of tea.
yeah.
I don't know.
But
who
there
those
are people who grew up on that, and
Right.
that was what they knew. That
Right.
was their lives at the time.
and
so.
and well done for them. It's just
I'm interested
something...
to see what they do with it. I'm interested to see if it's going to be as
Ah,
terrible writing.
Well, my only interest is how it does successfully. I will not watch a single episode.
I might. I just out of morbid curiosity, I want to see what just to see if it's as bad as it is. Because they got everybody back, and it's the original creators.
I will do that with a film. Like when I heard that Gigli was horrible, or no, the best example, Battlefield Earth. Everyone said it was the worst film ever. I want to see because it's a 2-hour investment. It's not like a series.
Right.
Or I want and they were so right.
Right.
It was literally.
But that's why I'll give 22 minutes to Fuller House instead of
To one-
I'm not going to
well,
watch the whole season.
Okay,
I'll
all
watch
right.
one
Oh,
to
just-
see how
just to
bad it
see
is.
what it- okay,
yeah,
I
just to
see.
see what they do with it.
Okay.
just out of curiosity.
Right. Now, sometimes a series comes back due to popular demand, and it's not the same. It's good, but it's not as good as what people were hoping for.
Okay.
Arrested Development,
Yes.
which kind of I think is the start of the Netflix, Amazon, Hulu going that property. We're bringing this.
Yes, it
we're
was.
bringing this back. That was like that was ground
it was
zero.
and it was a perfect storm of the public crying out for more of this stuff and Fox saying, "What are you, crazy? We got rid of that years ago."
Right.
And Mitch Hurwitz going, "Well, wait a minute. You mean there's
You
more
don't-
platforms?"
Yeah, you don't own it, or you don't own all of it, or you can't control it, or something.
Yeah, it's him going, I know people like this
Right.
because they never stop talking about it
Right.
and never stop bugging me about it. What the hell? If
Yeah.
Netflix is willing to do this, how can I lose? And he was right.
Right.
It wasn't... I liked it.
I liked it too. It's in as much as it suffered, which it didn't suffer that much. The fact that the cast had drifted, into other roles and other levels of stardom, and their schedules, getting all of their schedules to film scenes together. Now they got a lot of people together at different times, but
that's why it's broken up the way it
right,
is.
the storytelling was constricted by people's schedules, and it's hard enough to write a good, funny, concise season. But to go, I can't do that because they're not available.
Yeah.
There's not enough time. But you
And
make
not-
things
and not
work.
and not for nothing, as complex as he writes.
Oh yeah.
It must have been a complete nightmare because
know.
he writes layers upon layers upon layers.
Callbacks to callbacks that were callbacks of things off Happy Days that were callbacks.
Exactly.
You know. So, but you know, you can get a lot shot in a day, and you know how I know that?
How?
Because a film got a sequel as a TV series.
Really?
Come on, classic.
What am I thinking? A film?
Talking can of veg, baby.
Can of veg. I don't know what you're...
Wet Hot American Summer.
Oh, yes.
Netflix, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Did it again. And Chris Cooper? No. Chris, oh gosh. The Hangover. Limitless.
Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper, that's
Yes,
it. There we
yes.
go. Bradley Cooper had one day, apparently. This is what they said.
Mm-hmm.
One day. And I did not notice anything wrong. I mean, he was in there. It worked. It was fine. He had one day to shoot, and he did it.
It can be done.
So we'll see. We'll see. But that's another weird. Usually a show, a movie that flopped doesn't come back as a TV show.
Yes.
Usually it's a very successful film. They're like, ooh, we could do a series out of that. In the Heat of the Night became.
In the Heat of the
Night. Yeah, they kept
That's
the
what they
same
call
time.
it. Yeah.
So it happened, but usually the film has to be like well.
What was the movie? Cooley High. There was a movie called Cooley High in the early '70s, and that came back as What's Happening.
Really?
Yeah. I've seen the film. It's like an inner city, '70s high school show, and I believe Ernest Thomas, who was Raj, was in the movie, but I don't think he was Roger Thomas. So like it was one of those things that morphed into something different. Like it was because if you watch end credits, it said based on Cooley High, and I happened to catch that.
Oh, really?
On TV. Yeah, it was one of those things. It was like, wait a minute, I didn't.
What's Happening was good. I watched that in the day. And,
I did,
and Good Times.
Good Times,
Good Times.
They
that
actually,
was a spin-off of The Jeffersons, which was a spin-off
of
All in the Family. So
I think All in the Family holds the record for spin-offs. Because you had
Maude, Jeffersons, Good Times, and there was one other.
There was more. Gloria had a show,
briefly,
but it counts. There was another one.
Oh,
too.
Meathead, the series. No, I was kidding.
Did he? No, he never did get one.
No.
Archie Bunker's Place.
Which was it was a sequel to the original.
Sequel was a continuation.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Norman Lear, he's still around.
Yeah, he's 90 something.
He's doing it. He's a good friend of Harlan's.
Is he really?
Yep. Yep. So, and of course we come back to, two projects. We'll touch on the quick one and then go into the very happy one.
Yes.
Guess what's coming back? Theoretically, as a 2-hour cable film. I'm going to say one word. Motherfucker.
Oh, Deadwood.
Yes. See, people, it's in the cult. It's in the air. It's in the zeitgeist. You just say motherfucker, boom. Yep. It's going to be.
Yeah.
And now that Timothy Olyphant is done with Justified, apparently that's what had been holding it up.
Really?
Yeah. That's, who knows if it's true or not.
I'm sure it didn't help.
Right. But now that he's, done, I thought you could shoot a 2-hour film on your hiatus from Justified. It's not like you shot 12 months. But anyway, a lot of times those TV contracts don't allow you to do stuff or this whatever.
I never saw Deadwood. I've never been an HBO. I've never had that stuff.
Masterpiece.
I know. I'm gonna go back and watch it.
Masterpiece. Just a brilliant boy. I tell you. You had kidney stones at one point.
I did.
Yeah, you're in Deadwood. You're going to find out how they used to take care of them back in the old day.
Stephen Tobolowsky, who is one of my favorite character actors, Ned Ryerson from Groundhog Day, and he's played every kind of character. He's in Deadwood, and he said they were so authentic on that show.
That people actually got typhus or something?
No. There was a scene where he had to either step in or get shit and mud splashed on him.
Oh God, they used actual shit.
Not only did they use actual shit, they never washed the costume. So, like he said, it just those horrible foul pants that he always. That's what it was. It was they went that deep with that stuff.
The pants that actually will stand up on their own when you're not in them.
He said it was such a miserable set to be on, but it was so great. It was just as a hygienic modern person.
Exactly.
It was horrifying, but he said, it made it so much to the show. He's like, oh no, we can't change.
Yeah.
Wash your pants.
Oh yeah, you're in for a definite treat.
Mm-hmm.
That is one of the 2.5 HBO shows that I wanted to punch a baby in the face because they canceled it.
That
Deadwood.
Carnival, right?
Carnival's the second one.
I never saw that either.
Masterpiece. They only got 2 series out of that, and then they canceled it when the ending was so... I mean, it set up the 3rd season brilliantly, and nope. And then the half one is Rome. They did end it. They put it at a good place to end, but it was so good. There were so many more stories you could have told.
Yeah.
But
that's on my list as well.
But who knows? I mean, I don't think we're going to get a Carnival wrap-up movie. I don't think that's going to happen.
You never know. You never know.
There hasn't been a lot of call for it. There's calls for Deadwood every 5 seconds.
Right.
So
the thing is, that's what baffles me, especially, Firefly especially, because that show was 13 episodes and they only aired 10
and
of them.
treated horribly by Fox.
But 15 years ago.
Right. And people still talk.
You go to
them.
Dragon Con, there's people dressed as those characters.
Right.
There's people selling merch. There's t-shirts, there's games, there's books.
Nathan Fillion just made news that there's going to be on Castle, 1 or 2 of the Firefly people are going to be guest starring on it.
They still do each other's shows. And it's baffling to me that a corporation like Fox... it's Fox. I know
it's Fox, but they did the film. The film bombed. Now, film is different from television and far of expectation and audience and stuff like that. But remember, brown coats unite.
Yeah, I know.
And they didn't unite, or if they did, they
didn't enough. They didn't,
Right, exactly.
But just the fact that there's all that money being left on the table, it's amazing to me that they don't go, let's do something.
I'm really hoping that it's going to be a Star Trek situation. Canceled after 3, in this case 1, and then they come back. It snowballs, and finally they all go, "Fuck it, let's do another film and see how it goes." And then all of a sudden, because we've had the one film, but problem is Serenity is really dirty, and you know what Serenity needs more than anything?
What?
Wash. See what I did there?
Too soon.
Too soon? Okay. So he killed off some key.
But that's Joss. That's what he does.
I know. As long as you've got was it Kaylee and
the Tams and Mal and Jane and and Inara.
So we'll see. But I would love that if we got a new Firefly movie every 3 to 4 years like they did with Star Trek.
It
would be nice.
Yeah.
But anyway, the last.
Before we get to that, there's one that we're almost forgetting, and it's kind of fits in another Netflix thing. We're getting a new Pee-wee movie too.
Yeah, but
we're not getting another series, but we're getting more Pee-wee.
We're getting more Pee-wee. Yeah,
Pee-wee's Big Holiday, which is somehow premiering in April. From what I hear.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's holiday as in Christmas, or holiday as in he's on a trip, he's on vacation, he's on holiday.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Right, so
that makes a hell of a lot more sense.
But then again, Pee-wee's American, so Americans usually don't say, "Oh, I'm going on holiday."
Yeah, but still, it would fit.
The Brits say, "I've been to hospital." Like, don't you mean the hospital? No, I'm British. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
yeah,
but yeah, I'm all for that, and that's why I'm really happy. Hey, Netflix, if you want to bump up your your subscription by $1 or $2 a month. Done. If you keep bringing back this good shit, and
they will,
and they do original
stuff.
Well, we won't even get into that. Orange is the New Black, House of Cards, the documentaries,
Jessica Jones,
right? So,
man, so good.
As a matter of fact, it's going to get to a point where I don't think the 4 networks are really going to have that much power. They're still powerful, but we're getting to a tipping point where television and online streaming are going to be indistinguishable from one another.
It's all going to be apps at some point. It's not going to be. There's going to be no broadcast anymore. There's not going to be the model of. Well, CBS is already launching it because they're launching that new Star Trek series, and they're going to show one episode on CBS, and then the rest of them are going to be on that stupid HBO Now Go, CBS Go app thing that you can get. And that's it.
And people will find it.
And people will buy it, and eventually the networks will go away.
Yep. Or they will not be broadcast networks. They will not be.
It'll be pay networks. It's all going to be
right.
It's going to be a la carte.
It'll be online revenue and sponsorship on screen, product placement and stuff like that. So now going to New York for the upfronts. Every summer for the fall shows that are coming out, saying, "Hey, look, here's what we're putting on the network. Buy your advertising time now while it's cheap." That might happen, but throughout the year, like, "Hey, we're going to throw this new show up in February, and here's the pedigree, here's our numbers, and it's it's $500,000 per 30 seconds online or whatever." It's going to get there.
Yeah,
it may not be completely integrated that way before we die, but I think there's enough time.
Oh, yeah.
I plan to live at least another 50 years if possible. Well.
Oh, it'll do it in the next 10. It's going the paradigm is going to shift that much in the next 10 years. Easy.
You think so?
Absolutely.
I think. Look how
question.
long the record labels are still hanging on, and they haven't. They're slowly getting with the program.
Yeah.
But they're still around doing what they do, just in
less than 20 though. Less than 20 years it'll be a completely different.
It's a bet.
All right.
I'm marking my calendar, motherfucker. We're going to have
Here's my dollar.
our 400 billionth episode.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you guys should know that we have made a pact.
Yes.
That when we reach 9 billion episodes,
we're going to call
that's
it.
We're going to
That's all we're going to do.
Yeah. We will never do any more than that.
Yeah,
so gather ye rosebuds while you may. And now I want to come back to the
happy news.
The happiest news.
And just dropped.
Oh.
I saw it, I think, 2 days ago, and there's been rumors and rumblings.
But it's official. Official as in they've signed, like they've announced.
Yeah, this is happening.
Gilmore Girls are coming back. Now you may be thinking, what?
Why would these two idiots be happy about that?
Writing and casting.
Yes.
Because
the best writing on television.
Basically, Amy Sherman Palladino, anything she does, I am there. I don't care if it's Phone Book the series. If she's writing it, then it's obviously brilliant. And Gilmore Girls, I started that as a fluke. Like, whatever. I can't remember if my girlfriend at the time was watching it and I got sucked in or whatever. But it's the most whip-smart,
oh my God,
well-written, kooky, fun, and Lorelai and Rory have a rapport that's that literally is like sisters. Zippy, back just so fucking well written.
To find two actresses who were so compatible and both could, speak so fast and so bang 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 bang. And have the right. I mean, the serendipity
and
of that
it
show.
work. I mean, the casting. I can't think of a single character on there that was badly cast. Like, it kind of works, but no, everyone works.
Yeah,
perfectly.
That's my favorite kind of show where it's not just a show, it's world building, because that's that
dude, I would give up everything to live in Stars Hollow. I shit you not.
If
that was a real place,
it's almost Springfield. Just the wacky character. Kirk alone.
See, I would want to live in Stars Hollow and be Kirk's. Like, I feel like I'm going to be the dog catcher this week.
Yeah,
so that's my job, and now I'm going to be the mortician because now that's my job.
Right.
And I love that Lorelai's parents are in the picture, but it's a drive. They are a satellite.
They're back on Earth. Yeah.
Right. They're a satellite to Stars Hollow. Stars Hollow is the center of the world, but they're off on their rich mansion way.
And they needed to be. That's the whole point of the show, was the divide.
And there's only 3 actors that are up in 2 actors that are up in the air. 1 actor we are absolutely definitely not getting back.
I don't know.
No, he's dead.
Oh, who? Edward Herrmann.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
yes.
we're not going to get him back.
Yeah. That's unfortunate because he was such a wonderful character.
He's good.
You know.
But now Emily doesn't have anything to like tamp her down, so she's going to be full psycho bitch mode all the time.
Yes.
You know, but it's always from a good place in her heart. It just comes out as condescension and
evil.
Oh gosh. Yeah, but benevolent evil, but still just like picture the worst stepmother ever. That's kind of her.
Yeah.
You know, or the worst, I guess, was it mother-in-law? There you go.
Make you feel terrible while sending you to Yale.
Exactly. But the two characters that haven't heard anything yet about is the aforementioned Michel.
Yes. And I'm sure that's an easy get. I'm sure.
I mean, I don't know if he's done anything. I'm sure he's done some stuff, but if they have the Dragonfly in, they have to have.
Yes. Well, they have to have him anyway, just for the series. He was so integral,
right? And then
because he was not to cut you off. I didn't watch it from the beginning. Like Courtney started watching it from episode 1. She's like, I want to watch this, and I was like, okay. And I would come in and out for the first 2 seasons, and then before I knew it, I was watching, like, we were watching it together.
Right.
And Michelle was one of those characters where I was like, you know, when I started watching, I was like, God, I hate that guy. And then before I knew it, I was like, God, I love that guy.
Yeah,
He's so brilliant.
He's so condescending and pompous.
Oh my
and
God.
Even to Lorelai, it's like.
Especially to Laura.
We are, you with your... Yes, exactly. Yes. And then the other crucial element to the Dragonfly Inn is Suki.
Yeah, and I'm not...
Which, for people who don't know, that's Melissa McCarthy. She's done a few things. Since Gilmore Girls.
I have a feeling she's going to come back, at least in some capacity.
If not as a series regular, as a guest appearance.
Look, yes, she's doing movies, but... Her series just got canceled.
Mike and Molly's
done.
So she's still in the TV world. She's I don't do television anymore. I'm a film actress. No, she's been doing TV the whole time.
Right.
So
I have a feeling she's going to be back. I
really hope so.
I don't see them. They could do it without her, but I don't see her saying no to that. You know, I'm sure they would say, look, we'll work around your schedule, but you have to be part of this. And I don't see her saying, no, I'm not going to do that again.
There's got to be the 3 avenues for Lorelai to get her life going with, fighting with her mother, fighting and loving with Luke, and the relationship between Suki. And I guess you would put Rory in there as well. Just, the Suki thing, it balanced out the characters. It balanced out the story nicely. Yeah. So if they don't have Suki there, they have to have some sort of Suki-like character, which I really hope they don't do that because it'll be obvious we couldn't get Melissa McCarthy, and don't recast Suki. If Melissa McCarthy can't be there,
wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do that.
Amy wouldn't do that, but maybe one of the contingencies of getting the money to do that. Okay. All right. Well, you know
highly
this is Netflix. That. Netflix says, we believe in your concept.
Here's some money. We'll see when it's on.
Go and come back with a great show. So that makes me happy because, I've talked about it before. I firmly believe in the artists doing their vision and doing it their way.
Yeah.
But just like with anybody else, sometimes the artist's vision is fucking unworkable and stupid. But 9 times out of 10, they know what they're doing, and let them do what they do.
Right. And I forget. I don't know what series it was. It might have been like Daredevil, or I think it was like Joe Quesada was talking about doing Daredevil, and he said one of the Marvel guys, and he said we got literally just a handful of notes from Netflix, and they were all good notes.
Yeah,
like they barely, they let us do our thing.
What if Daredevil could see, but he had a talking dog?
Yeah, exactly. He said there was nothing like that. It was like, they let us do our thing, and the notes they gave were like, oh, yeah, those are good constructive notes.
And there's something to be said for running by things by another party.
Yeah.
That's why, I'm a firm believer in if you write something, run it. Anytime I throw something out there for trying to get it published or whatever, I have somebody that is completely unconnected to my day-to-day life that I can say, read this, give me your thoughts. and he will point out, oh yeah,
Yeah.
I totally didn't see that because I was so close to it.
Forest through the trees kind of thing. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's happening. Usually the network is a bunch of suits who just look at dollars and cents are fucking stupid. But I get the feeling that Netflix,
They're not like that.
no, they're like I wish I could write on the show. I can't, but hey, look, I can. All right. Oh, what about that? And do
I
that.
think it's more of, wow, we can't wait to see this. Go make it, you
Yeah.
know, kind of thing. Because the problem with the networks is most of the people giving notes are literally just giving notes to justify their own job. Like they're giving notes because they have to give notes, or else they're terrified.
What is your point of being here?
Yeah, there's no
Why are we
there's
paying
no
you
reason
$80,000
for it.
a year for?
Yeah, they're just trying to save their own jobs. Whereas Netflix, they're just trying to make stuff that's
Right.
good.
Right.
And that's why they don't even release their ratings or their metrics or whatever.
I think they release like
Somebody called them out on something recently. Like they said, I don't know if it was Jessica Jones or whatever. They said, it didn't do as much as Netflix's claim, as good as ratings as
prove
Netflix
it. How do you
claimed.
prove it?
Right, and they were like, yeah, it did. It might not have done, as much as you thought we said, but it did well enough, and what do you care,
Exactly. Well, they're on the HBO Showtime model in the sense that they are a channel / service.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, it's not advertising. That's
No, it's subscriptions.
Now I don't have Netflix streaming, so I don't know how they do with ads. You have Netflix streaming?
I do.
And do they pump any ads
Not a
anywhere?
one.
Not a one. Okay,
Not a
then.
one.
So then it's basically it's being paid for by the
Yeah,
subscription model.
Hulu did for a while.
Well, they had two levels. They had Hulu Free and then Hulu Plus.
They only there's Hulu Free, Hulu Plus, and now there's Hulu ad free.
Oh,
So
okay.
free was free, and you could only get a handful of things. Plus, you got the run, but there were ads in it, which was baffled me. And now I ponied up the extra couple of bucks, and it's like Netflix. There's just no ads. It just you watch your shows and you're done. And it's great.
If $2 or $3
And
bucks a month gets rid of all ads for me, then I will pay $2 or $3 a month because I cannot do ads.
Yeah.
I almost never watch anything live broadcast. It's
Right.
always recorded, and then I can fast forward them really quickly. So
Hulu's great for that. They don't have everything, but they have a huge library of stuff, like especially BBC stuff. It's amazing. There's so much of it.
well, if it wasn't for news programs, I would have cut, and probably Comedy Central, which you can get most of their stuff a la carte on the web. I would have cut Comcast out a long time ago, but I'm such a news junkie. I turn on MSNBC the first thing in the morning, click on that, and that's what I.
We're very close. We have it down to the basic at basic.
So this way, as soon as Google Fiber offers,
I keep hearing about it. Yeah.
as soon as it's in the neighborhood, then that's it for me. I'm going to cut Comcast out completely. I will stream or But then again, I can't justify my BitTorrenting because I pay for my cable subscription. So all these shows that I might BitTorrent, I'm already paying for them. So I don't have any problems with that. If I cut cable, I can't BitTorrent.
Well,
anymore.
again, like I said, you're just gonna have to wait until, because Fox has an app, CBS has
Right.
the app. It's all gonna be, everyone's gonna have their own thing. ABC has an app,
Right.
And again, they don't have full series, but what you'll have to do is like go through iTunes and buy the seasons. I can do that on Xbox now. Like I can buy the entire season of Gotham or Doctor Who or whatever, and they just bing, they're available, and then you watch them ad free and they're done. I'm still not there yet, just because I'd rather spend the Hulu money and get a wider variety.
I don't know. I'm like Stewie Griffin. I don't like change.
Don't like to.
I only a year ago got rid of my landline for the I mean, I needed it for a certain thing, and then I worked around that, and I kept it a little bit longer. I went, yeah, there's really nothing going on with this line.
No?
And there's nothing that I can't do web-based so I cut it, and that, freed up like $350 a year for me.
Yeah.
I could easily turn that right around into
But my cable bill just got so ridiculously expensive that I couldn't justify it anymore.
Yeah.
And I came that close to cutting it completely and getting there's a Sling TV.
the Sling box.
It's not Sling Box. It's like an offshoot. It's Sling TV. So it's like I said, it's like ESPN and Disney and a bunch of channels on just the box. So it's like it's all going that way, and eventually it'll all just be.
Eventually we'll go into the media room and there'll be 17 different devices, like that one's for ABC and this one for that.
It's just going to be one device that beams directly into your head.
Right, exactly.
Now I've seen all of
I like that concept. I like that concept.
But Netflix is doing great, and can't wait for Gilmore Girls. I'm very excited about it. We got to finish that last season, which it's tough. I got to tell you, man, it's tough.
It's not
terrible.
It's not terrible.
But you can just see that it's wrong. It's like the words coming out of their mouths are not. They're trying to be something, and it's not.
Exactly. It's like a super fan. Like, I can do that. No, you can't really. It's only Amy can write Amy. You can write imitation of Amy.
Yep.
So, but I would like to see Miss Patty back. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
And, and speaking of All in the Family, Gloria, what the hell's her name? The daughter from All in the Family.
Oh, Sally Struthers.
Sally Struthers.
Yeah.
I think she played her.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. She was Babette.
Babette, exactly.
Yeah.
And and of course, it hasn't been said that I've read, but obviously Luke has to be back.
Yeah, he's signed on. The Lauren Graham,
Alexis Bledel,
Bledell's. What's her name? Keiko Ajana. She's in for sure. That's all they've announced so far.
Okay.
I'm sure they just put the call
out.
Well,
and Kirk,
yeah,
Kirk.
and Emily. They're all the mains are back.
But Stars Hollow needs its flavor.
Yeah.
Hey, you remember who ran the music shop?
Yes, it was Patti Smith, wasn't it? No, not Patti Smith. It was Carole King.
Yes, Carole fucking
who sang
King.
the theme song.
Exactly.
See,
I thought that was perfect.
I don't mind. It'll be great if they introduce new characters.
Oh, that's
for
fine.
Sure. Make some more wacky freaking residents of this weird
exactly
Twilight Zone town.
There's like the butch woman that does the garage that fixes the
Yeah,
cars.
yeah.
She was awesome.
Everybody. It was everyone in the town.
Add more wackiness, but bring back the previous wackiness.
Right.
I mean, maybe Kiko's mom.
Oh yeah, Mrs. Kim. Yeah.
Mrs. Maybe
Lane.
Okay.
That's her name.
Lane. That's right.
Yeah.
Lane's mom. Okay, if she's not there, I'm not gonna cry.
Right.
But
it would be good to see.
And I could probably do without Sebastian Bach.
Yeah.
Remember? What was it? It was something alien.
Hip Alien.
Hip Alien was the band.
Yep.
And stuff like that. I'm like, if he's not back, I won't cry because he's not OG. I mean, all the first season, Girls characters. He was later on, but but we, as long as we got the crucial people, I'll be okay. But there's so many, and who's Rory with? Who did she?
They're gonna get what's his name back?
Ventimiglia.
Milo Ventimiglia, and the other one.
Or was it Dylan? I can't remember his name.
Yeah,
the first boyfriend, and then
the bad boy, Luke's
boy.
nephew, or the rich guy.
Exactly. And what about? And Luke has a daughter.
That's right.
And I can't remember what her name was, but she's somewhere around.
So can't wait. I'm thinking like that, like next year. I don't even think that'll happen this year. If not,
I can't imagine. But it depends on how far along they are in the writing process, because I can't imagine that Amy would have written a whole season on spec, going, "Please produce it." Like, secure the funding. Like, we're doing this.
She probably had the story. Like, she's known what's.
She has already said that.
And is this it? Like, is
this is it?
It's 4 90-minute movies, right?
4 90-minute movies, or for 4 movies, or 4 that
are going to wrap it
right, and
end it the way she wants,
right? And she has always said from like third season on, I know the last words being spoken. I mean, I know it. Yep. So I'm just having fun getting to that point, and then WB, CW, whatever the fuck they were, started UPN. I can't remember what the hell they were.
All of the
they
above.
just shuffled her off. So the final words of the series to date are not her words.
No,
but they didn't leave it at a place where that wraps everything up. They left it kind of open, so it gives a place for Amy to come back in and go, all right, I'll build. That's the thing. Is she going to build on what they did in that last season, or
Well, she's gonna have to acknowledge it. I mean,
you have to? I mean,
have to.
it's not like
But she's such a good writer; she'll be able to work around it. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
like okay, so they did that, and so this is where we are, and this is where I'm going to get to, and she'll figure it out.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, if they can explain, people coming back from the dead and missing and all this other stuff in other shows, I'm sure that she can craft something, because they didn't do anything
even better than anyone else can. I'm sure
They didn't do anything in that last season like, oh, you just threw down the gauntlet. That's it. You can't do anything.
can't
with
come
it.
back from
Right. Nothing happened. There's a lot of Sturm and Drang between Lorelai and Luke, and I won't say anything because you haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, they've been that's part of the other thing too, is that we're, like I said, we're about halfway through that season, and it's nothing good has happened. They're fighting the whole time, and I was like, oh, this has gone so bad, it makes my stomach hurt. So
Yep.
So we'll get there.
It's gonna happen. Now, another show that they tried to bring back, and they aborted it before they went into full production.
yeah,
It's a reimagining of a 60s show that was in black and white. Let's see. The remake featured Eddie Izzard.
oh yeah, the Munsters.
They tried to bring back the Munsters, and after they did the pilot, NBC decided not to go with it. But they aired it as a Halloween special.
Yep,
And
I liked it a lot.
it was fun. It was good. It corrected a lot of the why is this happening from the other show. They made it. I got it. I just thought it was a little beneath Eddie's skills.
Yeah.
He was definitely slumming on that. I mean, this is the guy that did The Riches.
Yes.
I mean, this guy has acting chops out there. I mean, hell, he did Hannibal. I mean, once again, comedian kicking ass at the drama.
Yep.
And I watched it, and I didn't feel bad that it didn't continue. I mean, I probably would have watched it because it's Eddie. I'll watch anything he does.
Liked it. I actually liked it a lot.
You liked it? Okay.
Yeah, I did.
Right.
I
I'm sure
really
I'm sure they released it for sale, if not digitally.
It's
then
out
on
there.
Disc, of course. But one thing that I heard that Eddie is going to start a new series in 2017.
Yeah.
And this time he's going to...
Medication time. Medication time.
we ran out of time. I will tell you next week.
9 Billion Names a Pod was conceived, written, and performed by Michael Reed and Dan Bauman, with Abdul Beni Hassan as the sound of splintering wood. Research, transportation, and exasperated looks by Courtney Lohner. Technical assistance by Cubase, Pro Tools, Skynet, QLab, Deepcut, Big Brother, and Eddie, your shipboard computer. Financial consideration provided by the Wayne Foundation, Stark Industries, the Piranha Brothers, and LexCorp. Legal counsel by the Offices of Howard and Fine.
I'm trying to use the phone!
Our intro music was written by Tim Akers. This podcast was sponsored by Deep Shack Records and is a production of Audio Primate. Throw us a couple stars on iTunes, why don't you? Check us out on dadsgarageradio.net. Listen on SoundCloud, stream us on Stitcher, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, or email us, comlink@billionpod.com. Until this happens again, I'm Dan Bauman.
I'm Michael Reed!
Allons-y!
Audio Primate.